are stories of strivers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. ABSA.
It is, in fact, a beautiful Thursday because, my lovely, we are getting to have important conversations. If you did not know, it is National Wills Week, and this is where we get into having the real conversation of, do you have a will? Who is in it? Who isn't? And do you actually have the right kind of will? And this is why today we are joined by Delon Subramanian, who is in fact the head of advisory, or forgive me, fiduciary advisory and fulfillment at ABSA Trust. And this is what we're going to be chatting about, our wills and what we need to know about them, all in the name of making sure that our family is indeed taken care of. Delon, how are you?
I'm very well. Thanks, Zanele.
Amazing. I'm so glad that you're here with us because we need someone with a bright mind like yours who's going to let us in on what exactly is a will and what is it not. So can we jump into that exactly? Because I feel like some people have misconceptions about it. What do we need to know in terms of that?
Well, Zanella, your will is most probably the one of the most important documents you'll draw up during your lifetime.
True.
And by nature, it's a very highly technical and very specific area of law, which then involves a lot of decision-making that needs to take place.
Yeah.
And having a professional qualified person to assist you with drafting that will is very relevant.
Yes.
It's that particular person that will help you achieve your estate planning objectives by using the estate planning instruments available to yourself as a person. And then obviously you can also ensure that he will also ensure that your will is being signed correctly and has been stored in a safe place.
Amazing. And Delon, I have to ask you, because I have seen some nasty things happen around wills, bad things. Why is it so important for us to get a professional, like you were just speaking about, to actually come and draft this will for us, and us not just writing our own will hoping it stands?
No, 100%. Yeah. So like I alluded to just now, when you speak to a qualified professional, he will help you mitigate certain tax implications in your estate and help you navigate how you can get around certain issues like, for example, appointing a guardian. How do you protect the interest of your guardian or the inheritance of your guardian going forward?
Yes. And also, actually, now that you talk about it, in terms of you mentioning about the tax implications, I never thought of that. I never even thought that was a thing that you have to think about when it comes to your will.
Yes.
But I feel like there's a lot of different things you actually have to think about that we don't know of. And this is why I want to ask you then, can you elaborate on how lack of planning can negatively affect not just you, but the family, the people who are left behind when it comes to your will?
100%. So let's take a step back. So if you look at the definition for will, so will is a legal document that basically outlines or states your wishes regarding how your personal property should be distributed at the time of your death. Now, not having or non-existent, incorrectly signed or unsigned will does cause practical issues for your family members and dependents.
Yeah.
And often puts them under immense stress when it comes to making financial decisions when you're not around.
Yeah.
So ultimately, some of the misconceptions out there, Zanele, is, for example, people feel that a drafted will is a valid will, which is not correct. People also consider that once they sign the instructions for the drafting of their will, that is also a valid will, which is also incorrect.
Sure.
And ultimately, it's your family that will suffer the consequences of you not having a valid will in place or having proper estate planning before you pass away.
Yeah.
So always encourage people to go out there, ensure that your will is valid. And if there's any doubt, reach out to an expert to assist you in getting that estate planning done as well as drafting your will.
Amazing. And of course, earlier on, you did touch on the whole tax implications part of it. And this is why I want to get into that, because I feel like, sometimes we don't know about the risks when it comes to tax. Please talk to us about that.
No, 100%. So proper planning will help any person mitigate the tax implications in the estate. And not just the tax implication, but also help you grow and protect the assets after you have passed away. Two notable taxes in one's estate is estate duty, which is a levy against your deceased person's estate.
Yeah.
And that levy is generally 20%, and where the estate value is between 3.5 million and 30 million. And there's a 25% levy against your estate if it's over the 30 million rand mark.
Sure.
a very commonly known tax as well that's applicable in deceased people's estates is something called capital gains tax.
Yeah.
And it's generally on the growth. The tax is on the growth of the properties in your estates, and generally including primary residence as well.
Yes.
So it's these complications is why I'll always insist that you speak to a qualified professional to help you navigate these difficult conversations and help you make those decisions for proper estate planning.
Well, I feel like ABSA is helping us do exactly that. So please talk to us about the tools that you guys are giving to the public to be able to be in the right position when we talk about this.
100%. So, Zanele, as part of the tools that we have at ABSA Trust, there's quite a number of them, but our financial advisors and legal specialists have quite a few tools that we use. One notable tool is something we call the liquidity calculator.
Yeah.
Now, what that does is that it gives our customers a high-level overview of what they could expect as cost during the administration of the estate when they do pass away. And what it allows the client to do is ultimately prepare for those costs through some of the financial products available at ABSA.
Yeah.
So we do have something called the Estate Preserver Plan that can be offered to mitigate those costs in your estates.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's other financial products which is commonly known as life cover and those sort of things.
Beautiful. I mean, Delon, I said you are here to help us. Thank you very much. And just a yes or no question. Can I put my heels in my will for my niece?
Of course you can.
Amazing. You see, we're learning things together here, Expresso family. Thank you, Delon. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Listen, I hope that you have learned something indeed today. And if you don't have a will just yet, remember that it is one of the ways in which you can show your loved ones that you do really love them by having a will in place should anything unfortunately happen. And this is why ABSA is here to help you. And you can get all of the details you need and all of the help in terms of that on absa.co.za. And always remember, your story matters.
There are stories of believers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. ABSA.